Alrighty, welcome back. It is Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. My name is Dan Kaufman, and I serve as Director for Discipleship and Assimilation here at Harris Chapel. And we are thankful that you are checking in, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. We're glad you're here. So drop a comment, let us know you're here. So a few weeks ago, I had my good friend Jake Sewell on here with you, and I promised you that it was going to be a great discussion, and I hope you enjoyed that. Well, this week, I have his better half, Jill Sewell, with us, and I thought it was important that we kind of get, her side of their story as well. Their testimony is so powerful, the way timing and everything just worked out, and just really how God showed up in their lives, and how Pastor Jim played a huge role in discipling them and them coming along. And I don't want to get too far into it. I want to save that for them as they talk about it. But also, you're going to get to see my better half, which most of you know, Erica Kaufman, because she is super passionate about discipleship and relationships as well. So as we've been progressing through this study, several weeks we talked about what it was to be a disciple of Jesus, meaning being a disciple. What does that do? What does that mean? How does that change us? Well, now we've kind of shifted that focus to making disciples, and I am so excited about where this is taking us on this Talk With Me Wednesdays, as we're going to have guests on here to talk about their testimonies and how discipleship, life groups, home groups, all of those things have kind of played a massive role in their relationship with God. So, without further ado, I am not going to talk too much tonight. This is for the ladies. They have a lot to say, a lot of great stuff to share with you. So, I'm going to switch out with Erica real quick and enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jill.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about your testimony?
I don't really know too much of what Jake said, but I'll just start from the beginning. We met Pastor Jim through the Y. He was in our spinning class. We're one of his spinning peeps, I guess is what he calls us. And I probably went to spinning class for a long time before I even knew Jim was a pastor. And he probably never knew that I did this, but I creeped him on Facebook. And I saw that he was a pastor, and I said, that explains a lot. Just how he is. Never talked religion in class, just has that personality of... Personable. Very personable. Wants to get to know everybody's name, what they do. Even one of my first impressions of him, just overhearing him, I was like, I think my husband would like him.
They're a lot alike.
Yeah. So Jake started going to the Y and started going to spin class, and he's a little more outgoing than I am. And so him and Jim struck up a conversation and friendship. And Jake and I talked about for a while just wanting to get into a church, but just didn't really know where to start. It's one of those things, they're everywhere, but to break down the barrier of where to go and how nerve-wracking it is to just show up somewhere not knowing anybody. So we had kind of talked to Pastor Jim about wanting to come to Harris Chapel. And I think within a few weeks, we came to our first Sunday service and have never looked back. I know Jake had come to Pastor Jim before we even started coming here, just because he was not happy professionally, just to get a little bit of some advice. We started coming the beginning of September of 2019, and within 3 weeks, Jake lost his job unexpectedly. It was a very big shock to our family. When I say unexpectedly, I mean very unexpectedly. I mean, he went to work one day and came home with no job. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, so he's our main income, and we have a little boy at home to support. So it was a rough time. I believe that we came here, it was just God's perfect timing. Because we needed that support system, and we needed that outlet of church to... Jake just needed to figure out what's next. What do we do? I mean, he had worked at that company for, 8 or 9 years. So we just needed some guidance on where do we go from here. And so that's how we started coming to Harris Chapel. I guess we just kind of wanted to get involved with a church community. Jake and I have always been Christians, but never really attended church regularly. And so we just wanted to instill that in our son at an early age too. So I feel like our walk with God's just kind of grown since we've had him.
I'm so thankful that you have him here, because now I have your friendship, and
Yes.
I'm thankful for that, and you and Jake and Blair, and what Blair means to the boys. When the boys outgrow clothes, they say, "Can we give it to Blair now, or can we give it to Carter?"
Yeah,
So
I'm saying,
we're super thankful.
When
for your
Blair
friendship.
outgrows stuff, then we give it to Carter.
Yes, of course. So you come into Harris Chapel, you now are involved, and you're involved in a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
We come to home group, and I love home group. I mean, I love Sunday services, don't get me wrong, but I get so excited to go to home group because I just love hanging out with you guys. It's so nice to just get with a group of like-minded people that we can just sit and chat and nobody's on their phone. Because I feel like that's a problem right now. It's hard to have a conversation without somebody being on the phone. And we play games and just eat, and it's just very. I was so nervous the first time we came when I kept asking you all these questions. You're like, Jill, it's fine. It's not. It's very informal. Like, just show up. It's okay. But I like to overthink everything. So we love coming to home group, and we've actually started partnering with you guys and another couple to start a young adult home group.
So be praying about that home group. We're beginning to launch it.
So we've kind of just felt called to help lead that. I feel like Jake and I, between the two of us, we just kind of have a lot of life experience to help that in between high school and I guess our age. Just gotta give them some guidance and direction and just meet new people and make friends. I think that's one thing I've learned about being at church is just making connections. And Jake's new job is he found a connection here at church. I mean, he knew him prior from his old job, but had we not come here, he probably wouldn't have reached out to that new connection for his new job. So I just, in its own weird way, I feel like there's a lot of just God's always working, and his timing, we may not always agree with it, but it's good.
You were really devoting yourself to prayer and pouring yourself out, and you had so many people praying for you, even in our home group. See, my heart is for intentional discipleship and doing relationships with people like Jesus would do it. So even if it's been awkward sometimes in stepping out of my comfort zone and saying, okay, how can I ask them when I don't really know them yet?
Well,
Let's go to lunch.
Well, I remember we'd only been coming here for a few weeks, and I get a Facebook message from Erica. She's like, hey, you want to go do lunch? And I'm like, here to Jake. I'm like, Erica wants to go get lunch with me. But it was fun, and we've done it several times since, pre-COVID. And we do it with some of the other girls in our home group. And I think that's just one of the most important things is making connections and building those relationships with people. Like you said, that's what Jesus did.
Yep. Doing life together.
Yeah.
Helping each other out, looking to each other for support. As moms, too, each step of the way. I don't have all the answers.
No.
We look for each other. We look for other people in our church to help us out on certain things. And it's nice that we can turn to each other for support.
I know I reached out to several of you guys just over, especially this last year. I mean, this last year has not been easy on any of us, and we've been very fortunate. You know, none of us have gotten sick. You know, Jake was able to keep working, or if not, you know, getting the unemployment. But it's been hard, and it's been stressful on all of us. And having a little one at home, I just have one. I mean, it's exhausting, and it's nice to be able to reach out to you guys and be like, is this normal? And I mean, is this just a phase? So I know you and another girl in our home group have been very helpful with me with that.
Oh, thank you. Doing life with other people, intentional discipleship, it brings such joy to my heart. But I want it to bring joy to your heart as well. And I want you to experience that. So if you don't attend a home group, a life group, and want to know more about it, please reach out to us. We would love to tell you more about it. But it's doing life as Jesus would do it. Being with other believers and experiencing life together, growing together in God's Word. And we're truly passionate about that. And doing life each step of the way, maybe not in church all the time, but outside of the church and in the community, and going hiking or going bowling, wherever it may be, even eating in a restaurant and giving that awkward hug the first time. The first time I went to lunch with Jill, I gave her a hug afterwards, and I'm like, was that too huggy? It may have been.
And
So
you can hug me.
I'm glad. So I was like, A little nervous about that at first, but it worked out. Pastor Dan will bring you the message April the 7th in Luke chapter 24. So we will see you then. Goodbye.